Let me show you an ad that was created exclusively with AI, like from start to finish. Yeah, check this out.
Night cravings, yeah, I answer the call. 12-piece box, I ain't sharing at all. That crackling sound when I break it.
I want to thank ChatGPT for helping me doing all my assignments, my thesis and everything. Thank you.
Boy. I think he should have kept his mouth shut. I think March 27th is going to go down in the history books as the day everything changed.
You can chat with ChatGPT, and then when you're ready, you can say, yeah, that's great. Can you draw me an image of that?
Is AI getting too good? This week, we're talking about the bombshell arrival of OpenAI's GPT-4o, and we've got to ask this question. Has content creation changed forever? Plus, Instagram is giving us the option to repost reels and other content. So, what does that mean for your feed? And you're not going to want to miss this one. Is Blockbuster Video making a comeback? All of that and more coming up after the intro.
Redesigned.
Welcome back to the Redesigned Podcast, where we talk about all things tech, digital culture, and where we navigate our digitally evolving world. A lot's been going on the last couple of weeks. I'm sure you can appreciate that. It's just like every other week, there's something mad happening in the world of technology, AI. It's just crazy. Sometimes you just never know what's going to happen, right? And this past week, we've had some crazy updates, crazy movements towards a future where, boy, I don't know if we're going to have any jobs at this rate. Like, it's crazy. But we're going to get into that shortly. But last week, we threw a soundbite challenge at you, and the correct answer was the bonus level in the original Donkey Kong Country. So congrats to everyone who got that right. We'll have a new audio puzzle for you later on in the show, the soundbite challenge. If you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the podcast so far, hit that subscribe button or the follow button wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps me get out there while trying to grow the community. And big thanks to all of you who subscribed in the last couple of weeks. And of course, all the long-time subscribers. I appreciate you all, and I really do appreciate your engagement. With that being said, let's get into this week's news. Instagram is reportedly testing a repost feature. So get ready for another shake-up in your Instagram feed. According to reports and code findings, Instagram appears to be experimenting with a new repost feature. This would allow users to reshare other people's feed posts. So we're talking about reels, carousels, that kind of stuff, directly to their own followers' feeds, similar to Twitter or X's retweet or Tumblr's reblog function. At the moment, you can only share stuff on your Instagram through your stories or DMs. However, a dedicated repost button could really change how content spreads on the platform. So potentially boosting visibility for you as a creator if you're a content creator. But it also raises questions about feed clutter and also content originality as well. Now, Instagram haven't officially confirmed a wide rollout yet, but insiders are suggesting that it's seriously considered as a way to increase engagement and content circulation. When you think about it, being a content creator, I don't think you always need to create your own content. You can put your own spin on other people's content, add commentary, and also you can curate. So you could be a tastemaker as well. Like, you can create a vibe by sharing other people's content. It's almost like you're being a DJ. You're curating content, selecting stuff that's going to appeal to a very specific audience. So you're still serving them, even though you may not be creating the content directly yourself, you're still serving a very specific audience. And that way you can build an audience where they know, like, and trust you. So yeah, I think having a repost function on Instagram could really boost the platform, considering they've been having a little bit of a wobble lately, let's be honest, especially with all the stuff going on with CapCut and then edits and then reels and TikTok and stuff like that. A lot of people are leaving the platform, but yeah, let's see what happens with the repost feature. Let me know, what do you think of the idea of having a repost or retweet style type of thing on Instagram? Let me know in the comments. All right, listen, this next story feels like firing up a time machine straight back to a Friday night in 1999. Now, remember Blockbuster, yeah? Blockbuster Video, that blue and yellow beacon of weekend entertainment. I still remember I signed up to Mile End Road in East London, Stepney. And used to rent out videos, used to rent out Super Nintendo games. You can rent out video games as well, believe it or not. Yeah, back in the 1900s and that. Hey, the youngsters, they could never relate to this stuff, man. Honestly, imagine that. Imagine renting games. Sick. Good way to try before you buy, right? Remember walking up and down those aisles, checking behind the box, just desperately hoping that the latest release wasn't already rented out. Believe it or not, the ghost of Blockbuster Past is coming back to London's Soho for 4 days only. The iconic video store is making a temporary return. So before you start looking for that faded membership card, just understand this. It's only a pop-up, yeah? It's just a pop-up. So it's a pop-up in collaboration with one of Nestlé's biggest confectionery brands, KitKat. Now, think about Blockbuster's incredible rise and fall. At its peak in 2004, it boasted over 9,000 stores globally. That's insane. And then streaming came, and by 2013, it was pretty much game over. So if you live anywhere near London, mark your calendars next week, Tuesday, April 9th to Friday the 12th. You can step right back into that Blockbuster world in Soho. Pure nostalgia. So KitKat's recreating the entire vibe. So think of rows of those iconic VHS cases lining the shelves, and there's going to be a comfy chill out zone, retro TVs. We're talking about the big back TVs, if you remember them. And you could go and browse like you used to, pick out your movie by grabbing an empty VHS case, and then when you take it to the counter, you can expect a new KitKat sharing bar. We're talking double chocolate, salted caramel, or hazelnut, apparently. And I'm seeing that they're going to be able to hook you up with a movie streaming code. So very, very creative marketing. I intend to check it out at some point. So if you plan to go down there as well, let me know in the comments and maybe come and say hello. The AI video generation race is heating up, and Runway ML just blessed us with the introduction of their next generation model. In video quality, realism, and control. Now, according to Runway's research page, Gen-4 offers much higher fidelity, vastly improved consistency above scenes and frames, and most importantly, more control over the motion within the generated video. So this means that creators can potentially guide not just what happens, what appears in the video, but how things actually move and interact with more precise control. Like previous versions, it can generate video from text prompts, images, or even existing video as clips, acting as a powerful tool for filmmakers, visual artists, and content creators looking to visualize ideas or create visuals without the traditional production means. While it's likely starting as a research preview, Gen-4 is letting us know where the cutting edge of AI video is headed towards more controllable, cinematic, and more believable results, which is gonna blur the lines of what's possible in digital media creation even more. All from the comfort of your home. This is actually insane. Let's look at a quick preview of that now. Hey, 2025, man, this generative AI stuff is getting out of control now. Honestly, it's becoming out of control. We're not going to be able to differentiate what is real and what is fake on the internet. Like when you're watching content, you're not going to know whether what you're watching is real or not. Do you know how insane that is? Like obviously now you can still kind of tell. You can pretty much tell if something is AI generated. Well, most of it. I would say it's about 50-50 now. Yeah, it's about 50-50 now. There's content out there that you wouldn't be able to tell whether it was a real human being or if it was AI. This is how far we've come. So what does that mean for someone who creates content on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok? What does that mean? What does that mean for filmmakers? And soon we're going to be talking about video game developers. What is that going to mean for them? So listen, I'm just a messenger. Something to think about.
Sound moves in waves, which is why JVC has created new Adagio hi-fi systems. Softly curved, ergonomically sculpted, with motorized panoramic speakers which tilt and turn, moving the sound around your room, creating everything from an intimate feeling to a concert hall, dance club or dome effect. Adagio hi-fi systems from JVC, the shape of sounds to come.
I think March 27th is going to go down in the history books as the day everything changed. Like seriously. We're talking about GPT-4o. We're talking about OpenAI's ChatGPT update. Wow. I'm sure if you haven't been hiding under a rock, if you've been online the last 7 days or so, you would have seen all the images that users have been creating on GPT-4o. All the Studio Ghibli generations, all the Pixar style character generations. Listen, March 27th with GPT-4o changed the world forever. I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Let's dive in.
You can chat with ChatGPT, and then when you're ready, you can say, yeah, that's great. Can you draw me an image of that?
Image generators nowadays, they look good, but it's going beyond just looking good. Attention to detail makes it really, really useful.
What's special about this is, one, it'll keep the context of this character, and then two, it'll understand what I'm trying to ask it for, and you will see it in different forms as we generate it.
Just when we thought we were getting used to the pace of AI development, OpenAI dropped GPT-4o, the O which stands for Omni, and the demonstrations felt like a leap into a new era. That's why I said like game changer. Like that day, the world literally changed. So if you saw the launch videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. AI responding in real time, detecting emotion in the user's voice, singing, translating languages instantly, even seeing the world through a phone camera and commenting on it. This is what we're talking about here, right? So it wasn't just an update. It felt like interacting with something fundamentally more intuitive, more human-like. So what makes this ChatGPT update like different? What's the big deal about GPT-4o? So unlike the previous models of ChatGPT, where you've got text, audio, and vision was handled, somewhat separately, GPT-4o processes all these inputs natively. So what that means is you've got faster response times, like almost approaching human conversation level speed, and a much more seamless understanding of combined inputs, like talking about something as you're showing it on camera. OpenAI also made the powerful model, or at least a significant version of it, available for free, instantly putting incredibly advanced AI tools into the hands of millions of people. So this isn't just like an incremental update. It is a potential paradigm shift, especially for anyone who creates anything. I ain't even got to the crazy part yet, but you got to see ChatGPT now as your co-pilot, especially for content creators. So if you're a content creator, GPT-4o isn't just a tool. It's like gaining a super-powered creative assistant overnight. So if you create everything on your own, look at it as like you've got a team now, right? You could use it for idea generation and brainstorming. So if you're stuck for video ideas, blog topics, or social media hooks, you can use it to brainstorm with you in real time, offering suggestions based on prompts, analyzing trends, or even riffing off like visual cues that you show it. So you could literally go on Pinterest, give it get an image from Pinterest, give it a reference to follow, and then you can brainstorm and just like have like a creative jam session and just take your ideas to the next level. The only thing I think about sometimes is there's going to be a lot of copycats. You know, there's going to be a lot of lazy people using this technology to pass off somebody else's work as their own. That's not good. And you will get found out eventually anyway. And, you know, there's no honor in doing that. But for those who actually have creative skills and they've got ideas, but maybe they just don't have the budget to hire a team to execute those ideas, GPT-4, yeah, I'm so excited about this. GPT-4 is changing the game for every creative. Yes, on the flip side, there are problems. Like there are a lot of concerns, especially when it comes to, wow, what's going to happen to our jobs? Like those people who work in the creative industries, I feel for them because it was literally like overnight. Something just changed overnight, just like that. Like the average person can now upload an image, turn it into a Pixar style image, run it through a video generator, and then do some voiceovers and actually effectively create their own cartoon. Do you know how insane? Do you know how insane that is? Like being able to create your own cartoon. If you're willing to go through the process, yeah, you could literally do that and post it on social media, get feedback, build a following, and you never know. A studio might look at your idea and say, you know what, we want to bring you in. We want to license this idea, or we want to work with you. This is the stuff that you're going to see and hear about in the next couple of years. Somebody out there is going to do that. So you can use it for drafting and scripting. If you need a first draft of a podcast script, a YouTube video outline, or even your website copy, you describe what you need and it will generate surprisingly coherent and well-structured text almost instantly. When it comes to editing and refining, it can act as an editor, checking grammar, suggesting stylistic improvements, or even summarizing long text, or even adapting content for different platforms. So for example, turning a blog post into a thread for X or Threads. And also another thing that you can do with this, you can actually sketch something on a piece of paper, like draw out like make a little storyboard or create a picture of what your idea is. Take a photo on your phone, put it into ChatGPT, and then you can ask it to turn that into something more high fidelity. So you can take a rough sketch and then turn it into a photo or a video frame for a scene for a film.
You have the drawing like this, and ChatGPT will get back to you a real comic book.
So you can literally storyboard. If you're crap at drawing and you want a storyboard, you could literally do a rough sketch of all the scenes in your film that you're writing, and then run it through ChatGPT, and it will give you like the frames, and then you can then either go out and film it, or you can use AI, something like Kling or Runway, and bring your story to life. Like never in the history of man have we been able to do stuff like this. Like I feel like it's almost too much power. And it's literally, you could do it on your phone. Like imagine what the next 5 years is going to be like. It's insane. It's actually, yeah, I for one am definitely going to run with this. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely going to run with this because it's not about getting left behind. Honestly, whether we like it or not, it is happening, and this is the future. So yeah, that's one of the great things about this update: visual analysis and concepting. You show it an image or describe a visual concept, and it's gonna provide feedback. It's gonna turn it into your next iteration. You know, insane stuff. That's why I say, like, this is for content creators. This is a game-changing tool. I can't stress that enough. Let me show you an ad that was created exclusively with AI, like from start to finish. Yeah, check this out.
Late night cravings, yeah, I answer the call. 12-piece box, I ain't sharing at all. That crackling sound when I break it apart. One take, boom. Yeah, go to the heart. Ready to roll. Smoking hot, straight out the pack. First bite magic, no turning back. That crunch hit hard like a baseline smack. Savory bliss, got me lost in the track. Stack up the wings, pile them up real high. Take another sensation you just can't deny. One more round, man, I'm ready to ride. It's finger licking good.
So this ad was created for under $400 using a mixture of AI tools. So even the soundtrack, the music, all of that stuff was completely created within AI. So the music with the KFC slogan, that was created inside of Suno AI. So that's a music generation platform. And then the visuals were done in a mixture of Veo 2 from Google, Luma Ray, also Runway. I think, hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, so it's a mixture of Runway, Pika, Kling AI, and Sora, and also Topaz for upscaling to get it in 4K. This is the future of advertising. It's the future of the creative industry. And you're going to see a lot of new players who maybe traditionally weren't invited to the party. You know what I mean? If you've got the skill and you know how to do an engaging ad and you're very creative and you've got great ideas, you're going to have a seat at the table. Whereas traditionally in traditional media, sometimes it's not just about your skill, it's about who you know. And also there's a lot of bias as well. Certain marginalized groups don't get allowed in as much. And that's just the way it's always been. I've worked in media land for a long time, so I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is what's created with AI. Insane. Let me know what your thoughts are on this KFC ad as well. Yeah, mind-blowing stuff. Shout out to the artist though, David Blagojevich. I think that's how you pronounce it. David Blagojevich. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I've pronounced it incorrectly. But yeah, insane skill. Like the visuals are on point, the lighting, the composition, chef's kiss. Amazing work. So the speed and natural interaction that you have with ChatGPT will make the creative process potentially much faster and more fluid. You'll never need to get writer's block again or creator's block. You know, when you don't know what to create, you don't know what to post, you don't know what to come up with. You should never have this problem again. Honestly, like if you do, I don't know. Yeah, but let's look at how it's going to disrupt industries beyond content creation. The impact isn't limited to, you know, creators, YouTubers, bloggers, etc. Think about graphic designers. So this is where it gets really interesting. Using AI to rapidly prototype ideas, create mood boards, or get descriptive feedback on designs, that's going to be huge. Because I'm, as a designer myself, that was the most time-consuming thing. If you're a musician, brainstorming lyrics, chord progressions, or even getting, you know, rudimentary music ideas, you can use it for that. Coders, you've heard about vibe coding. That's been big. If you don't know how to code, you can code with this. If you don't know how to build an app, you can build an app with ChatGPT. What is going on there? Like, so basically what they're saying is computer programmers are toast, graphic designers are toast, illustrators are toast. Anyone who does admin is toast. In a matter of years, what are we saying? Unless you learn how to use this stuff and become a master at it. That's what I think. Who knows how it's going to pan out? You know, these are the concerns, you know, that I mentioned earlier. Because it's a lot of power. And you know what they say, with great power comes, you know, a lot of responsibility. The excitement around this GPT-4o update is matched with a lot of concern. So job displacement. If AI can write, code, design, and communicate this effectively, what does it mean for like human jobs in these fields? While some see it as augmentation, so like it being your co-pilot, some people are seeing it as outright replacement. And also, will these tools lead to a flood of generic, formulaic content? Is everything all going to start to look the same? I don't know. What do you think? Because when it first came out, there was a lot of excitement about this visual style that they use in like Japanese anime called Studio Ghibli. Everyone and their mum was making images in this style. I did it as well. I just did one photo to just see what it would look like. Not the greatest fan of it, but I just wanted to see like what it could do, like how quickly it would run. And yeah, here's the result. Here's what I created with it. And there's so many other styles as well. But the point I'm trying to make is everything going to all look the same? Maybe initially, but when creators work out how to use this properly, man, it's exciting times. I don't know. What do you think? You may not see it as exciting. Some people are horrified at the prospect of potentially being replaced by AI. when it comes to their career. This stuff can do a lot of stuff, man. Honestly, we ain't even talked about deepfakes now. The ability to generate realistic voices, images with text. That the GPT-4o update. One of the problems with generative AI is that you'll get the photo, you'll get the image, but the text is all jumbled. Now you can use, with this update, you can create anything with legible text. The text is super clear. You tell it what you want it to say, and it will create it for you. Whether it's a photo, whether it's a infographic, whether it's a flyer or a report, it will do it for you. And I can't fault it. It is pretty damn good. So those who, for example, people who use things like Canva, I don't know what Canva is going to do about this. I don't know if they knew that it was coming, if they were prepared, Canva, things like that. Or if you use Fiverr for creative services, you might not even need to use Fiverr ever again. You could just do it yourself, So the real creatives that are going to shine, I think they're going to be more creative directors. They're going to have to learn to be a creative producer. That's why I called myself the content producer. I may not do everything from scratch, but I would know how to put resources together, understanding of different visual styles, understanding of different musical styles, artistic styles, and putting things together to create a package and a brand. And I think that's the way it's going. So if you're looking for a content producer to help you create your content or coach you on your artistic direction, hit me up. Shameless plug. But yeah, it's crazy. We got to continue this conversation inside the comment section. But yeah, I kind of just went off topic. I was talking about deepfakes, wasn't I? Yeah, they're getting more and more convincing. They're more and more convincing now. And also the threat of fraud. People are using AI to do bank fraud and stuff like that, impersonating people's voices. And this is, hey, listen, do you know what? Check this out, yeah? This is going to blow your mind. Watch this video.
Thank you. This is my daughter. Thank you, darling. Did I get that? Hi, thank goodness you picked up. I really need a favor. That's very good. But yeah, I need you to send me your PIN number. It's kind of urgent. What is going on here? I mean, I haven't said that. Look, I wouldn't normally ask, but I really need a hand here. Can you just help me, please? Look, what is going on here? Listen, that's my voice. That is my voice. Why do you keep saying that? I think you'll find it's my voice.
You got to get up to speed with all this AI stuff, This is the world we're going to be living in the next 5 years. In 5 years, you are not going to recognize this planet. Things are going to be so different. So that's one of the reasons why I brought back the podcast, because I saw what was happening. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just dive deep into it, learn as much as I can, and share it with you guys. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and let's continue the conversation. The ability to generate realistic voice, text, and potentially video makes the creation and spread of convincing deepfakes and misinformation easier than ever. So that's why I mentioned fraud. Now, the potential for misuse in scams or political manipulation is also scary. And not only that, we've got stuff like copyright and ownership. Who owns AI generated content? What happens when AI is trained on copyrighted material without permission? These legal battles are already brewing. And also bias and ethics. AI models learn from the data, and that data reflects human biases. So ensuring fairness and ethical behavior in these advanced models is also a massive ongoing challenge. Trust me, that bias is real. And I've seen it firsthand. For example, like I was doing a storyboard using Reeve, another new image generator that just came out last week. And well, it didn't just come out last week. I found out about it last week. And I said, all right, give me a tower block somewhere in London. I said, okay, show me some inner city poor children. When I said poor children, it showed me children from Africa. Like they were clearly from some village in Africa. Like it was trained on something like that. You could just tell. And I've asked to put this into the context of a tower block in London, a council estate in London. And because I used poor children, that's what it showed me. So that's a clear-cut example of how obviously the people who own the AI companies, the people training the AIs are from a certain persuasion. They're the ones that have access. And so therefore, the information in those data sets is going to reflect that. So definitely something to think about. We're essentially conducting a massive real-time experiment right now by putting these powerful tools out into the world. The guardrails are still being built as the technology is just literally sprinting ahead. So no one knows what's going to happen. It's literally the Wild West, you know? So it's all about navigating this landscape. So GPT-4o and tools like this are here. Ignoring them isn't really an option for anyone in the creative space. So I think the key seems to be understanding their capabilities and their limitations and just working around that. Think of it less as a replacement. You're not going to replace human beings. Well, yet. How are we going to use these as leverage to overcome your weaknesses as a creative, speed up tedious tasks? And when I say creatives, I'm not just talking about creatives. Anyone who works with data, anyone who does admin, or you're at work using spreadsheets, documents, anyone who has anything to do with that, you can definitely use this to your advantage without being replaced. It's about understanding the capabilities of what you have in your hand, you know? So to wrap up, the release of GPT-4o feels like a major milestone, but what does it mean for you? Let me know. Are you excited by the possibilities? Are you worried about the implications? And also, have you started using ChatGPT since the update, GPT-4o, in your own creative work or your daily life? What's been your experience? I'd like to hear your thoughts, your experiments, or your concerns in the comment section below. And yeah, let's continue the conversation. All right, we're back for another soundbite challenge. Can you identify this sound? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. If you think you know it, drop your guesses in the comments and I'll reveal the answer at the start of next week's episode.
You are scrolling through an endless digital labyrinth where strange websites, bizarre posts, and conspiracy theories collide. A place where cursed videos autoplay, deep dive subreddits unravel reality, and the comment sections of social media posts spiral into madness. The algorithm is pulling you deeper, but where does it lead? Is it addiction? Is it the truth? Or just another glitch in the system? Welcome to Scrolling Deep. Scrolling Deep. Scrolling Deep.
So I was scrolling as you do, and I came across this Korean beatbox champion. His name is Wing. He's a multi-GBB champion, reigning solo world champion of beatboxing, and widely regarded as one of the most technically proficient beatboxers on the planet right now. When I say this brother sounds like a machine, hey, check this out.
The brain's motivation neurotransmitter, dopamine.
Like, how is it possible for a human being to make these kind of noises? Nah, this is insane.
Dopamine.
こんにちは、和江柴田です。仰向けでスマホを使っているとき、顔に落としてしまうことありますよね。そんな時にご紹介するのが顔面スマホシールド。使い方はとても簡単。装置に頭をセットしたら、あとはスマホを落とすだけ。スマホが落下した瞬間に顔面を守るシールドが開きます。
A helmet that stops the phone from falling on your face. Okay. Forget about solving world hunger or climate change, folks. We've cracked the real crisis of our times, facial phone slap. He actually built a gadget to stop being slapped in the face by the phone. You got to admire the commitment to solving first world problems. Yeah, the internet is a wild place, bro. Let's continue.
We have this man here. Yeah. His name is what? The only thing I want to say that I want to thank. Wait. Yeah. My name is Ziad, and I want to thank ChatGPT for helping me doing all my assignments, my thesis, and everything. Thank you.
Boy. So you're thanking ChatGPT for your assignments and your degree. I think he should have kept his mouth shut, because that's gone viral now, and I'm pretty sure they can revoke your certificate. That's if they haven't done it already. I'm sure they've revoked my man's certificate. He shouldn't have told us that. Great entertainment, funny, but yeah, that's enough internet for me today, man. The internet is a wild place. But anyway, just to wrap up, we have seen the repost button maybe coming back to Instagram. It may be on there as we speak. Runway with their new video generation model looks super realistic compared to what we had before. And also our deep dive into ChatGPT with their new model, GPT-4o. How it's set to completely disrupt content creation, creative industries, bringing both incredible opportunities and also massive challenges. My first thoughts when I saw it, I was just like, it's game over for graphic designers, especially graphic designers. I just thought, how once the cat is out of the bag and everyone realizes, you know, we don't really need designers to do X, Y, and Z. We can just do it ourselves. It's like the price just goes down. Well, not for everyone, but I'm sure in some cases it's gonna affect wages or like the availability of jobs. There's some companies that were like, we don't actually need one. We don't need one. We can just use this. And I say that as a graphic designer myself. So yeah, interesting times we're living in. Interesting times. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay ahead of the curve on tech, AI, and digital culture, make sure you subscribe to the Redesigned Podcast wherever you listen. Your support keeps the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Using AI to rapidly